Hi, welcome to Azure with Mohsen. We already know the importance of conditional access policies for users and service principals in Entra ID. Now AI agents are becoming new identities in our environment. In this video, I will discuss how cybersecurity architects design conditional access policies for AI agents. First, let's clarify two concepts. Microsoft Entra Agent ID is the identity and access management layer for AI agents. Microsoft Agent 365 is the management and governance platform for AI agents. Microsoft positioned Entra Agent ID as a component inside the broader Agent 365 ecosystem. Now you can find the agent IDs and conditional access policies in Entra ID Admin Center. AI agents need their own conditional access thinking because they don't always behave like normal human users. Sometimes an agent acts on behalf of a user, so user-based controls like MFA and compliant device can apply. But sometimes an agent acts autonomously, using its own identity. In that case, there is no human to complete MFA and no normal user device to check. So the key question is, who is the token issued to, the user or the agent? That determines which conditional access policy should apply. Before creating a policy, ask, is the token issued to the human user or the agent identity? I describe this distinction as the token subject. In Microsoft Entra, an access token has one subject, the identity the token is issued to, and one audience, the resource the token is intended for. Conditional access is evaluated when Microsoft Entra issues the token. So your conditional access policy must target the identity that is actually receiving the token. That's why Microsoft separates AI agent access into three patterns. 1. On behalf of user or delegated access. 2. Autonomous agent, application only. 3. Agent's user account or informally digital worker. Pattern 1. Agent acting on behalf of user, OBO. Imagine a Copilot Studio HR assistant that helps employees find HR policies stored in SharePoint. For this pattern, the conditional access policy should target users and groups, not the agent identity. The reason is simple. The downstream resource token is issued to the user, so the user is the token subject. The agent accesses the resource using the user's identity and permissions. It should not gain more access than the user already has, but the target resource must still enforce authorization correctly. In OBO scenarios, controls like MFA and compliant device are applied to the human user, because the user is the token subject. A good conditional access design would be like this. When a user asks the HR agent to retrieve HR content, the access is treated as the user accessing the HR resource. Therefore, the user must satisfy the same conditional access rules we would require if they open the HR SharePoint site directly. Pattern 2. Autonomous agent. For example, an agent runs every morning and creates a compliance report. Here there is no sign-in user. The agent authenticates with its own identity. So the conditional access policy must target the agent identity, not users. For autonomous agents, controls like MFA and compliant device usually do not make sense. Instead, we should use controls such as blocking high-risk agents, allowing only approved agents, and restricting access from trusted locations. A baseline policy to block high-risk agent identities looks like this. Note that Microsoft has a specific conditional access template for blocking agent identities detected as high risk by Microsoft Entra ID protection. Pattern 3. Agent's user account. Suppose someone creates an agent user account called finance-digital-worker@golzarion.com that can read a mailbox and create finance workflow items. This is a special case where the agent operates through a user type account. For example, a digital worker with its own mailbox or collaboration identity. Important: an agent's user account doesn't replace the agent identity. It's an optional additional user style account that is explicitly connected to a parent agent identity. The confusing part is that it looks like a user, but it doesn't behave like a normal human user. Microsoft explains that many human-centric controls such as MFA and compliant device do not apply correctly because the agent account cannot complete interactive challenges and doesn't operate from a normal end-user device. What to consider? Microsoft's current documentation for agent user accounts is very limited. A governance-style conditional access policy might look like this. We don't allow agents to operate as a user account by default. If a business case needs a model, it must go through exception review because a standard MFA device-based conditional access controls do not work the same way. Hybrid case, OBO agent with its own identity. One extra point: an agent can be hybrid. It may use OBO for user-driven actions, but its own identity for backend actions. So we design conditional access per token flow. User token protect the user. Agent token protect the agent identity. And if the agent uses a normal Azure managed identity, remember that the conditional access support may be limited. So you need compensating controls such as RBAC, network restrictions, and monitoring. Target resources matter. The cybersecurity architect should think about who is using the agent and also what the agent is accessing. The target resource must have an enterprise application or service principal in the tenant. For custom MCP servers or custom APIs, you should register the tool as an application in Microsoft Entra ID and expose permissions. A practical design question is this agent accessing Microsoft Entra protected resources, or is it bypassing Entra using API keys? Note that conditional access only protects resources that use Microsoft Entra token issuance. If the agent accessing a system using an API key, shared secret, local token, or known Entra authentication path, conditional access will not protect that access path. These are suggested baseline conditional access policies that can be used. Always use the report-only mode before enforcing these policies. In summary, for human-assisted agents, protect the human. For autonomous agents, protect the agent identity. For agent user accounts, treat them as a special non-interactive risk pattern, not as normal users. Before enforcing agent conditional access policies, check these items. Classify each agent as OBO, autonomous, or agent user account. Identify the target resources: SharePoint, Graph, Exchange, MCP server, custom API, ServiceNow connector, etc. Confirm the target resource is Entra protected, not accessed only through an API key. Tag agents with custom security attributes, such as data sensitivity, owner, environment, approval status, and origin. Use agent identity blueprints where agents are created from standard patterns, because blueprint level targeting can cover all derived agent identities. Start in report-only mode and review impact. Review the correct sign-in logs. Service principal sign-in for agent identities, non-interactive user sign-in for agent user accounts, and user sign-in for users accessing agents. In the Entra sign-in logs, useful filter values include agent identity, agent ID user, agent identity blueprint, and not agentic. Thanks for watching.